Well, like I promised, it's Friday, and before the weekend begins, we're going to call out Channel 1 again. So, yes, we are going to talk about the news that did get ignored in Astoria. And let me just make sure the mic is up, because I'm telling you, when I did my SummerSlam prediction video yesterday, it was not the best result. So, let me move a little bit closer to the computer. And now you can hear me a lot better today. Alright, so what's on the front page Channel 1 today, you may be wondering, as we're having a little technical glitch with OBS. Well, you guessed it. This nonsense right here. Let me draw an arrow so you get an idea of what I'm talking about. Now, this nonsense that this is how we're going to start the weekend off. I mean, really. I mean, my goodness. There was a shooting in Chelsea last night. How in the world, considering again, the Channel 1 Studios is right by Chelsea, you know, I'll tell you what even makes them more of hypocrites. I'm going to put a card up right now because I don't want to play the whole video, but CBS 2 did a great job last night covering the meth problem going on in Chelsea. And apparently, from what I've been hearing in the 10th precinct, these are people that Mayor Adams bounced out of Midtown, and now for whatever reason, the mayor is dumping them in Chelsea. These are the same meth addicts that were hanging around Hell's Kitchen, which caused my cousins to move to the Upper East Side. So, it's just crazy to think that the mayor that we have right now is a hypocrite. Again, I have been seeing a lot less homeless people in Midtown lately. I'm very glad that Mayor Adams is doing something about it. But again, at the same time, he thinks it's a good idea to dump the people elsewhere, like Fresh Meadows, for an example, where he's still leaving de Blasio's mess at the Wyndham Garden. And then, of course, Chelsea. So, what we are going to do in this video is spy on the In the Paper segment. And obviously, again, and I will mention this, that all they're talking about is politics. And nothing about what happened in Chelsea last night. So we'll get to the story in Chelsea in just a bit. And I also want to mention we do have an update regarding the synagogue fire from AM New York that happened in Flushing yesterday. At least we have a legitimate news source giving information, and then we'll get to the major stories that got ignored in Astoria again by Channel 1. So, today's thumbnail, let's shove the recession down your throats. And today's title of the video, Channel 1 ignores overnight shooting in Chelsea. That's going to be our title of today's video. So, notice something interesting? Looks like we're playing another game of Where's Pat Kiernan again? Yep. So apparently, Pat Kiernan has gone away for the weekend. Apparently, he was not on Mornings at 1 this morning. Oh boy. So let's show the Wall Street Journal.
Let's take a look at some of what's in the papers. Here's the front page of the Wall Street Journal. The latest news about the economy's direction leads several papers this morning, including the Journal. It's given major prominence in the Journal, breaking down the data from the Commerce Department on which U.S. industries are expanding and which are contracting.
Yeah, they're so focused on what happened with the GDP report. But again, you think that Wall Street would be losing, right? You think that they would be losing today. But look at this. They're winning today. They're winning. How in the world is it that all these people who, apparently all these Wall Street brokers that live in the South Shore of Long Island, they're winning? They're winning! Look at the crypto market. Bitcoin hit 24,000 yesterday. Ethereum almost went up to $2,000. They're in their own little world. I know I don't want to call out Long Island, but in this case, I have to because I'm so upset that I literally have a theory that News 12 South Shore and Channel 1 are colluding with each other. They have to be.
The journal's international reporting looks at how independent news outlets are. According to Realtor.com, the town.
Look at this. Oh, so let's focus on an upstate town. Oh. Hang on, is this? Oh! Sagaponack. Oh boy, so this is actually the South Shore. Ay. Then you have the New York Post talking about inflation. You know, the fact that, again, the front cover of the New York Post should have been about the synagogue fire in Flushing. So, again, we have an anti-Semitic media that's just getting out of hand, folks. Sorry, if you're an Orthodox Jew, you don't matter in this state anymore like you used to. So, screw you. That's what the media is telling us. And then look at this. Lee Zeldin's trying to cushy up to Eric Adams? What? Let me see this.
Mayor Adams is brushing off Lee Zeldin's attempts to form some kind of a political alliance. The Republican candidate for governor has repeatedly said he and Adams, they are on the same page when it comes to crime and changes to the state's bail laws. Adams responded on Twitter by saying that Zeldin can't claim to want to keep New Yorkers safe and vote against common sense gun safety laws. The theater world remembering Tony.
Okay, so Mayor Hypocrite is being Mayor Hypocrite again. So let's just focus on the main news. Okay, so this is what should have been on Channel 1's homepage. But apparently, again, sorry, we don't want to talk about the crime going outside of our studios in Chelsea Market. So here we go. Suspect remains at large after a robbery at a Chelsea nightclub turning into a police-involved shooting. So here we go. According to police early this morning at around 2:48 a.m., and thankfully 1010 Wins was talking about this morning, two plainclothes officers were wearing NYPD windbreakers while working in club docks located at 59 West 21st Street when they were alerted about a robbery in progress outside the club. When the officers went outside to intervene, the two suspects began to open fire at them. The officers fired back, but nobody was struck as a result of the shooting. The suspects fled the scene in a light-colored Audi sedan with a New York license plate KUR 5318. Reports say the suspect was wearing black hoodies. Shell casings were recovered by police at the scene. So, what are they claiming reports saying? Oh, I think this is a Channel 7 story. Okay, good. Good. So, Channel 7. Okay, so this was at West 21st and 6th. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This happened 2 blocks away from the subway station over there?
Responded to a call about a robbery, only to get into a shootout with two suspects. Luckily, no one was hit, but right now there is a manhunt.
And look at this. Channel 7 spent 90 seconds talking about this.
For the suspects who jumped in a car and fled. Eyewitness News reporter Crystal Cranmore is live at the scene there with the breaking details for us. Good morning, Crystal.
Good morning, Charlene. Yeah, police say at this point that the suspects got away in a silver Audi sedan as the hunt for them continues. There's a large investigation right now underway. Behind me, police blocking off the area near 6th and 21st. You'll notice several evidence markers on the ground as investigators try to piece together what exactly led to the shootout between the suspects and officers. Now, this shooting happened around 2:45 this morning outside this supper club at 59th West 21st Street. We know from police that officers in plain clothes, but they were wearing NYPD windbreakers, observed a robbery outside the club. Now, police combed the area looking for clues. They found shell casings in front of the business. The clubs in this area don't close until 4 a.m., so there were people around as bullets went flying. One of those bullets actually hitting an Uber. Now, according to police, the good news here, no one was injured, but the manhunt, of course, ramping up for those suspects. We know from police that the Audi was last seen heading westbound on West 21st Street toward 7th Avenue. We, of course, will stay on top of this breaking news situation as more information develops.
All right, so thank you, Channel 7. They did an excellent report. And I'm going to mute the audios because what was the headline in that story? I just want to confirm. Yeah, here we go. Yes, so thankfully, no injuries. That's the good news. That's what I was looking for. So, again, Channel 1 ignored this. Channel 1 clearly ignored this. I understand that, okay, maybe they might have brought it up on the air this morning, but nothing about it on the website. That's a given. Okay, and then I want to read this. Even though I don't talk about Brooklyn as much anymore, but what the heck happened in Brooklyn? Let me see this one.
And seemingly random attack with a screwdriver caught on camera in Brooklyn. This was Wednesday afternoon as the victim was restocking fruit at a store on Lafayette Avenue in Fort Greene. Police say the suspect stabbed the 33-year-old man in the shoulder with a screwdriver before he took off. The victim was not seriously hurt.
New York's health commissioner has declared the monkeypox.
So that's very alarming. I mean, really. And I think last week somebody was hit by a car in the Bronx and was robbed. So again, even though I don't talk about those boroughs anymore, especially because, again, I really have to focus on the news going on in Manhattan and Queens, you know, this just comes to show what's going on here. And I think there's one more we do got to read in, yeah, here we go. This is the one I wanted to read. Because there was an older story that AM New York was talking about, but I don't really want to read that because I do not have the patience. So here we go. Shooting in Harlem. Here we go. According to authorities, at 1:15 p.m. on July 5th, 20-year-old man was walking near St. Nicholas Avenue and West 144th Street. Yep, I know that area very well. It's very dangerous. The 20-year-old man was approached by two unknown men on city bikes. Both men pulled out firearms and shot the victim multiple times. The victim was not hit. The suspects fled the scene with no property taken. One suspect was last seen going over the Willis Avenue Bridge in the Bronx, while the other fled to parts unknown. So, yep, sorry, because Harlem is Latino and black. We're not going to cover that area. Oh, yeah, you could definitely tell from this Crime Stoppers video, they were definitely firing guns. So, again, this is what goes on with Spectrum. The fact that they don't want to cover this. Okay, so now what we're going to do is get to the major news in Queens that's been getting ignored as usual. And, of course, we're going to talk about what happened in Astoria, which, again, I did tease that yesterday. So here we go. So this is what we know regarding the fire in Flushing. At around 3:14 p.m. yesterday afternoon, Thursday, July 28th, FDNY personnel responded to a fire at 139-19 72nd Road in Kew Gardens Hills. According to NYC Firewire, the fire had broken out in the basement of the building, which had been converted from a private residential building into a synagogue. Oh, it's just like Chabad of Little Neck. Yeah, they converted a mansion into a temple. Yeah, that always happens most cases. The fire escalated to an all-hands situation with 60 firefighters on scene taking the blaze. The fire was brought under control almost under an hour later. The cause of the fire is being investigated by the FDNY's Marshal's Office. So, yeah, I mean, I just wonder what... At least the good news is nobody was hurt. That is the good news, at least. Probably because nobody was inside the building, but... Maybe that's why it really wasn't treated as a priority, but still, I mean, it should have been at least a 15, 30-second mention. Not too much to ask, is it? Okay, so let's get to the news in Astoria that's been getting ignored, and then we'll wrap up this video for today, because, as I said, we just don't matter to them anymore. We just don't. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Before we get to Astoria, looks like we gotta talk about some other news. So I will have to organize it in the way I think that's best for me. So I think what we'll do, and that way we can organize this very, very well. Let's just start off with the news in Astoria, because again, I keep teasing it. I'm sorry for my viewers in Northwest Queens. I know you want to know what's going on. So I'm going to get to your news first, since again, the 114 precinct does a good job at least informing the community about what's going on at least. So here we go. First up in Astoria, because we only have two we're going to talk about. 3 men sought in a bodega beatdown that left a bike rider injured. So here we go. Police from the 114th precinct are looking for 3 men who attacked an e-bike rider outside a bodega back on Tuesday night, July 26th. The 23-year-old man had just come out of the Mi Esquinita convenience store located at 30-36 14th Street at around 9:30 p.m. So I'm noticing there's a lot more gentrification going on in Astoria lately. So 3 assailants jumped the victim. Video surveillance footage captured the attack that showed one of the suspects as he pulled the victim off his e-bike and forced him to the sidewalk as a second man bashed him in the skull with an unknown object. The third suspect then smashed a bottle over the victim's head. The first 2 assailants jumped off the e-bike and took off southbound on 14th Street. The third suspect fled on foot westbound on 30th Road, police said. The victim suffered lacerations to his head and was treated at nearby Mount Sinai Hospital in Astoria. So we do have surveillance video that was just released yesterday, so I'll try to play the video and read you the description. The first suspect is described as he's in his late teens to early 20s with a medium complexion and a thin build, who was last seen wearing a black baseball cap with a shirt wrapped around his neck, a white face mask, white t-shirt, gray pants, tan boots, and a black drawstring bag. The second suspect is in his late teens to early 20s, medium complexion, thin build, blue baseball cap, black t-shirt, black shoes, black sneakers. Third man is in his late teens to early 20s with a medium complexion and thin build. He was last seen wearing a black balaclava, a white shirt, black shorts, black and white sneakers, and black and blue backpack. So, obviously, no arrests have been made. Ongoing investigations. So, this is what Senator Bob Ortt says. This is basically an easy pass society now, thanks to this bail reform law that we have. Okay, and last but not least, in Astoria, 3 suspects sought that left 1 gunman wounded. So here we go. This shooting incident occurred just before 2 a.m. back on Monday, July 25th, in front of 24-04 41st Street, across from the Grand Central Parkway, when a group of men got into an argument at the intersection of Astoria Boulevard. As the dispute escalated, one of the men took a shooting stance, pointing his handgun at a second man who returned fire first, striking the suspect in the stomach. According to the 114th precinct, the wounded gunman handed the firearm to a third individual who opened fire in the direction of the second man but missed his mark, police said. All 3 fled the scene in different directions, with the third suspect making a getaway in a red Dodge Charger. So, we do know that there have been no arrests, but we do have a suspect description, so that's the good news. So here's who the 114th are looking for. And this is according to Crime Stoppers. The initial shooter is a black man with dreadlocks who was last seen wearing a red t-shirt and red shorts. The third man had a light complexion and wore a green baseball cap backward, a white t-shirt, green shorts, and white sneakers. So, the gun violence is really getting out of hand in Astoria now, too. I mean, again, this used to be a very safe area of Queens. Very safe area of Queens. But now again, because of bail reform, because you have a lot of repeat suspects who get let out of prison. This is what happens. This is exactly what happens. And a lot of people don't see how bad this pattern continues. Okay, so, funny enough, I know it was unfortunate that a teen got shot in the Rockaways. Apparently, there was a robbery reported. So let's see where this happened. Police from the 100 are looking for a team of pickpockets who stole the elderly man's credit card from his pocket as he was shopping in Rockaway Park Monday afternoon, July 25th. And remember, in the Rockaways, you got to call them the 100. You don't call them the 100. The incident occurred around 1 p.m. as 77-year-old victim was leaving the Stop and Shop at 112-15 Beach Channel Drive when the suspects, one and one woman, approached. Police said that the man bumped into the senior and reached into his right pocket, removing his debit card from J.P. Morgan Chase. The pickpockets then took off in an unknown direction, and later they allegedly used the man's debit card at a nearby Chase branch and withdrew approximately $1,500 in the victim's amount. There were no injuries reported as a result of the incident. So, we do have a surveillance video that was released on Wednesday. So we do know that the couple is being described in their mid-30s. All right, let's get a good look of them, and then we'll look up where this Stop and Shop is, because, yeah, look at this. Apparently, the lady was last seen wearing a blue jacket, sneakers, a blouse, sunglasses, and apparently wearing a KN95 mask. I could definitely tell that's a KN95 mask. So, this is the Stop and Shop that's in question. Now, I know where this Stop and Shop is. It's literally right off the bridge. And a lot of people from Howard Beach, for an example, do go to this location right here. Because they know that they're getting decent quality when they pay the toll, at least. But still, I mean, you literally cannot make this stuff up. And Rockaway Beach, for crying out loud. Rockaway Beach. Well, this is Rockaway Park, but you get the idea. Now, where's the closest Chase? That's what I wanted to know, because I may have an idea of where the Chase is in this area. Let's see. Let's see. I think I may have an idea. Oh! Oh! Yep! I know exactly where the Chase is. Yep. On Beach 116th Street. Yep. I'm thinking, wait a minute. Isn't there a Chase around the corner? Yes, there is. I just remembered. Right by the firehouse. This is my intuition about the Rockaways, folks. This is my intuition. Yep. Look at that. And also keep in mind, this is right by Tribute Park. Very nice park, by the way. I'll quickly show you it. Yeah, see, this is Tribute Park. This is the memorial for where American Airlines Flight 587 crashed. So I know where this is. Okay, so we're going to get to our last story. Cops searching for group of people involved in several grand larcenies in Corona and Flushing. So, here we go. And this dates back to May, apparently. So this is what we know. Police from the 115th in Jackson Heights and 109 in Flushing are looking for a group of people in connection with several grand larcenies over the last 3 months. The first incident occurred on Thursday, May 19th at around 11 a.m. when two men and a woman entered a restaurant at 37-12 Junction Boulevard in Corona and approached a woman who was sitting at a table. One of the suspects said she had dropped money on the floor, and as she bent down to pick it up, another suspect removed approximately $20,000 belonging to a 54-year-old man who was in the restroom. The three suspects fled southbound on Junction Boulevard, and there were no injuries. So, a month later, on Thursday, June 23rd at around 5 p.m., a 46-year-old woman entered a restaurant at 136-20 Roosevelt Avenue in Flushing and placed the bag on the counter. A short time later, 3 men and another woman who entered the restaurant and removed the bag containing about $14,200 without the victim noticing, police said. Suspects fled the restaurant in an unknown direction. There were no injuries. The suspect struck again in Flushing on Wednesday, July 6th at around 2 p.m. when a 69-year-old woman entered a medical office on 38th Avenue after withdrawing money from a nearby TD Bank. A short time after placing the bag next to her chair, 2 men and a woman entered the medical office and removed approximately $5,500 in cash from the woman's bag when she stood up to throw out some trash. So, suspects fled in an unknown direction. In all of these cases, no injuries were reported. So, this is who the police believe that they are looking for. So, here's a good look at the suspects. And if you know their whereabouts, give the Crime Stoppers a call because this happened in 2 precincts and it's going to be a lot difficult to coordinate with 109 and 115. So now we're going to watch this video from the 109 precinct that Laura Uhl just shared. And this is going to be how we wrap up the video today. So this was an incident that happened, believe it or not, back in 2020. And look at this. Look how disturbing this is. The fact that, look at this. A jewelry swap. That's what they call this, a jewelry swap. And this has been happening a lot in the 107 lately. So, look how disturbing this is. And again, this is from 2020. 2020. It says November 27th of 2020, this incident happened. And look, she gets right into the back seat of a car. So, again, this is what they're so focused on today. The monkeypox! I mean, who cares? We need a state of emergency on the crime declared right now. But is Crime Wave Kathy going to do anything about it? No.
With monkeypox cases climbing in the city, State Health Commissioner Dr. Mary Bassett has now declared the virus an imminent threat to public health.
Look at this.
Monkeypox situation.
They have this woman on for 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Look at Dr. Bassett. You know she hates the cops, right? Yeah, this is the same lady that de Blasio had to fire in the worst of COVID because she made rude comments saying, "Oh, I'm not going to give face masks to the police." Yeah, I mean, this woman is a social justice warrior, an SJW. This woman shouldn't even be health commissioner, but because Kathy Hochul is a socialist as well, no. Let's keep the crime out of hand. Let's keep raising taxes. This is what we're fighting against. So, I think I'm going to wrap this up. All right, let's enjoy our weekend. I have a better video for you all on Sunday with Andy Plays coming up. So, trust me. I am done with this. I am completely done talking about this nonsense. And let's hope that we maybe, just maybe, may not have to talk about any more crime this weekend. Please. Let's just maybe have a little quiet weekend for once. All I'm asking. Hopefully nothing major happens this weekend. And I am very fearful of how August is going to play out. So that's it.